And now, let's join ace broadcaster Mamode Akugha as he takes us inside the Niger Delta.
Hello out there and welcome. This is Inside the Niger Delta and I am Mamode Akugha. Today we are bringing you the program from the Oxbow Lake where I'm standing right now in Bayelsa State, venue of the mega rally organized by the Pan-Niger Delta Elders Forum. This rally was put together to stress the position of PANDEF as it affects restructuring in Nigeria. Today's rally is rather unique because already, as we're told, quite a lot of dignitaries from other parts of Nigeria are already here in Yenagoa to be part of this rally organized by PANDEF. We hear that Afenifere from the southwest is already in Yenagoa. We also hear that Ohaneze Ndigbo is already in Yenagoa. Also, we have the Middle Belt Forum, and if you add that with PANDEF, that's 4 different socio-cultural organizations already in Yenagoa for today's rally. And they say, well, everybody's going to get back here for the rally, but first everybody is going over to the conference center in the government house where they have a world press conference to announce something they say it's very important and will change the history of Nigeria. So we go over to the World Press Conference Center and then we come back to the Oxbow Lake.
Inside the Niger Delta.
Gentlemen of the press, distinguished elders, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure, even though with solemn heart, to read this press address of your leaders here gathered today. Nigeria is at the moment in a state of inertia, with her people stranded at the juncture of dilemma, pondering as to what leads to socio-economic emancipation, where the future of our country's younger generation can be secured, and our women saved from needless anxiety over what fate awaits their children. As a country of energetic and hardworking people, we have not always been like this. For long, rendered prostrate and made to exist in a state of suspended animation, our country now is on a fast-track race to a bleak future for the unborn children. Our country has never been in a more dire strait than it is today, with virtual collapse of governance, crass display of insensitivity, arrogance of power, unquantifiable corruption, and the country fast becoming a laughingstock and a butt of practical jokes in enlightened circles. Beyond the hyperboles, and given the reality of our existence, the future ended yesterday if the state of anomie, where lives have become cheap and unguaranteed, with almost assured deaths of children and women, including the unborn babies, and destruction for family compounds and communities. Without sounding pessimistic, under the present social order, the quest for peace and socio-political progress, no matter the sincerity of individual actors, will remain regrettably an unfulfilled passion. Given the tempo and height of insecurity of lives and property, so pervasive across the Nigerian social space, our country seems to have regressed. As Chinua Achebe, our celebrated man of letters, was to lament in his classic Things Fall Apart, the center can no longer hold. Our major assignment is to salvage the ship of the Nigerian state, tottering in a scarcely scarily roadless manner in the roaring waters of insecurity, economic decline, and permanent political tension. Is the restoration of the stolen Nigeria's article of faith amongst Nigerians. The point being made, in no unmistakable terms, is that the dismantled federal architecture must be reconstructed, where each state in Nigeria will be self-accounting with respect to its nature-endowed natural resources, of which no federating unit in Nigeria is denied of God's numerous gifts to his creatures. And self-securing of lives and property with its constitutionally defined geopolitical space. This is the irreducible minimum item of a social contract that our long-suffering people demand of any group and association that seeks to take control of our country's political destiny. Henceforth, this precisely is what we, the Mass Alliance for Inclusive Nigeria, in bracket MAIN, pledge to effect the restructuring of the Nigerian state to a federal system of government where each and every federating unit shall hold equal and coordinate powers with the central authority, and where no state is subjected to an inferior position in the country. We declare, without any equivocation at all, that Nigeria shall be great again and in our life.
The presence of eminent personalities at this press conference, it shows that you are ready to liberate yourself and be first-class citizens of Nigeria. We have the men, we have the resources, but we are treated as people who are second-class citizens in their own country. And this is what we are fighting for. If any one of you believes in any other organization that they will come and salvage you, you will be making a mistake. So I'm indeed very, very happy that you are all here at the press conference. Shows that the rally we are going to will be very much successful. But let me make a point. They have been asking, the Inspector General of Police is asking that all, what do they call them? That anybody who has a gun, unlicensed gun, should surrender them. We are ready to do that. But one is asking a question. When are they going to disarm the herdsmen in Nigeria?
On this platform, we are people irrevocably committed to the destruction of this country back to federalism as our founding fathers handed back to us. Anything less is not acceptable. To keep Nigeria together in peace, you must restructure. No more, no less. They have stolen our sovereignty. They have taken Oloibiri to Abuja. And the people of Yenagoa have to go and queue up in Abuja every month in order to get a federal allocation, turning the principle of federalism upside down. When we began to talk about restructuring, they said they don't understand what it is. When we began to talk about restructuring, they said we were idle people looking for relevance. In any case, as President General of Ohaneze, I am precluded from holding a party card. But I will die a miserable death if my country continues to remain in this comatose situation. They have destroyed our country. Far more important is that there's no propriety in our country anymore. As I drove to Yenagoa, from Enugu through Imo State, through River State to Bayelsa State, I saw uniformed officers forcibly extorting money from people in public. They couldn't be bothered. How on earth can you have a country where stealing is promoted by the law enforcement agents and you expect them to hold back the headsmen of Boko Haram? This is the country we are in. And they said we were people who were looking for relevance. But soon after that, they constituted a committee chaired by El Rufai. And he now says he wants regional police. He wants onshore oil to be owned by the states and offshore oil to be owned by the federal government. Thank God they are waking up from their slumber. But we have started a movement that we will never stop until we regain our freedom. Thank you for your kind attention.
Inside the Niger Delta.
I urge you in the name of PANDEF, in the name of the Southern People's Forum, in the name of the Middle Belt Forum, in the name of the Southeastern Ndigbo Forum, to join the campaign for restructuring so that we can win in a short time second independence for Nigeria.
Those who have enjoyed oppressing us for the several years since independence will not let go if we don't take from them what belongs to us. Our freedom is a constitutional right. Above all, it is a God-given right, and nobody can give it to us nor take it from us. Therefore, we should stop complaining and just take what belongs to us.
Our nation is crying for justice. Our nation is crying for freedom. Our nation is crying for prosperity. Our nation is crying for unity. Unity that is sustainable. Unity that is founded on justice. And so in this assembly, we are here as brothers and sisters. And I welcome you all to this new Bayelsa, which is home to all good people who mean well for our country and for our people. You are welcome here any day. We are united here not just by a belief in an ideal that you cannot feel. In this state, people who are far away may just talk of restructuring as a slogan or as an ideal. Here in this state, here in this region, we feel the pains of it. We live with it, we have lived with it for decades and decades. And so when there is a call to reorganize our country and make it more stable, make it more equitable, make it more just, and therefore make it more prosperous, we in Bayelsa State, we in the John Nation are totally in support of that. All we ask is firstly to ourselves to continue to spread this gospel of peace and unity founded on justice. All we ask our leaders, while congratulating you, our father, head of PANDEF, and all the heads of delegations, while thanking and appreciating you all for supporting the cause for a just and egalitarian and prosperous Nigeria, we urge you all to also sensitize your leaders, elected leaders in the National Assembly, leaders in the various houses of assembly, and leaders of opinion, so that we can all form a united front to push for appropriate constitutional reforms that can bring about the restructuring we are here to talk about. Restructuring, as I said, is not just a hollow ideal or fast slogan. Here we live with degradation of our environment. Here we produce resources from under our feet, and people stay in Abuja and Lagos and in other capitals of the world and call it, apportion it the way they like, and call it oil blocks and give it to whoever they please. And I've said over and over again that what they sit down in Abuja and Lagos and other world capitals and call oil blocks are in fact and in truth the historical, ancestral properties of the peoples of the Niger Delta. That's what they call an oil block. And so, as a necessary element of restructuring, we are talking about control of our resources. We are talking about devolution of powers. And if you are out there whining about killings that are going on, then you should know that the answer to that is restructuring. So that you in your states and you, the people of your various areas, will have the capacity to be responsible for your own security, internal security. But I say that all of these, in spite of all these contradictions in this state, because we have borne the brunt of feeding Nigeria since 1956 till date, we are lovers of Nigeria. We are not its enemies. We have borne the brunt for this long. All we say is we want justice, we want constitutional reforms. Let our nation be known as a nation of justice.
We are saying all those who in our authority, let them listen to the voice of the people. Because we as mothers, we know it. If you are in the house, you are cooking one food and people are rejecting it. They say, no, mommy, we don't like this food. Again and again and again. What do? You change. You change the recipe. So restructuring is nothing to fear about. Restructuring just means reorganization in order to get peace, unity, and justice that we are talking about.
Some people can deceive some of the people some of the time. They can deceive some of the people all the time. They can deceive all the people some of the time, but they cannot deceive all the people all the time. Ladies and gentlemen, we from Akwa Ibom State We stand resolute, we stand determined to protect our God-given right, and we will not surrender. And I appeal to all our brothers and sisters from the Federation of Nigeria to stand firm, to resist all forms of oppression and injustice. The time is now to restructure Nigeria.
I bring you greetings from the government and people of Cross River State. Cross River is one of those states that has suffered severe injustice from the federal government. Very, very severe injustice. They negotiated and handed out one of the best areas of Cross River to Cameroon without speaking to the people. They did not stop there. They woke up the next morning and said Cross River no longer has oil wells. Our oil wells were taken away. And the people that own the land, as I speak to you today, remain refugees in their own homes. Therefore, we have suffered injustice from this federal government. It is therefore my message to you that the people of Cross River State stand firmly with PANDEF, the Pan-Niger Delta Forum, as our brothers in demanding restructuring.
Already on the podium are members of the National Executive of PANDEF. Having taken a rundown of the list of the new executive of PANDEF, it is therefore my pleasure to most respectfully invite our father, Pa Ike Clark, to formally inaugurate them. Let's please put down together for him.
Thank you very much. In the name of the Almighty God, I hereby inaugurate you as members of the National Executive of PANDEF. Thank you.
On behalf of the executive, the pioneer executive of the Pan-Niger Delta Forum, we know that there is work to do. The harvest is much, but the hands are few. We promise we will go out there and preach the gospel of restructuring in Nigeria.
Yes, Honorable, Bayelsa State is hosting PANDEF and this rally. For you, is that an indication of the support of your state for restructuring?
There can be no better indication than that. We are so blessed because it's indeed a great honor for us to have been given the opportunity to host this mega rally. You know, and this, as you can see from the wonderful, impressive attendance, that you have indeed the creme de la creme of not only the jurists but of leaders across the South speaking in one voice. You can see the unanimity of voices that look, they stand and support restructuring. Restructuring at this stage in our history is the only answer. It will promote self-reliance. It will encourage various states to bring out the best in them. It will promote creativity, higher productivity. So there's nothing to fear. We are talking about operating a federal system. We said we borrowed it from America. We must also take the time-honored, adopt the time-honored principles and practices of that system in other countries like America. Fiscal federalism. That way, you see, the story will change. The narrative will change. All these problems everywhere, clamoring for justice and so on, will not be there.
Are you happy with what you are seeing today here?
Yes, I'm grateful to the Almighty God for once again gathering Niger Delta indigene, especially the indigenous people in Niger Delta, to voice out what is in them to the rest of the world and the Nigerian state of what they feel Nigerian state ought to be. Keep hope alive, and we still have hope that the restructuring is just a nomenclature. We have talked about resource control, management, and everything in Kayama Declaration. I'm still alive to work on the issues that will benefit the people that are yet unborn. I'm now 50 plus, yet the elders say I should wait. I'm still waiting. So I don't want the youths of today to wait. They should stand up, rise up, and fight for their rights.
So a lot of speeches today. It was supposed to be a mega rally just for PANDEF, the Pan Niger Delta Elders Forum, but it turned out to be some kind of coalition between PANDEF, Afenifere, Ohaneze Ndigbo, and the Middle Belt Forum. Together, they're putting a very, very strong front for Nigeria to push for restructuring. Well, their position has been made very, very clear. What remains to be seen is how that will be achieved and how the rest of Nigeria, to be precise, northern Nigeria, will react to the demands of these socio-cultural groups for the restructuring of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Well, this is where we draw the curtain on Inside the Niger Delta for today. My name is Mamode Akugha. Thank you all so much for watching. Of course, next week, same time, same station, I will be here to bring you more reports from inside the Niger Delta.